just because there's so many things that wind up coming up on it. All right, so both of you guys are in there. All right, you can put your name in or not. If you do have your name in, you can enter in as a guest, or you can create your own player. Now, creating your own player, it's different from signing in. Signing in is through a TrackMan app, and I'm going to show you which app to download. All right, TrackMan's pushing everyone to get towards that. They're making everything towards the app. And what the app can do for you is it's going to keep all of your shots. If you're on Shot Analysis and you sign in, they'll all be there for you. The video will be there for you. You can analyze it as much as you want. If you play on a course here, you can take a look at each and every shot, you know, like your first shot, your second shot, what club you used, if you change them out, something to keep track of. If not, what I would do is you can just create a player. All right, you would put in your name and your email. No solicitations here. But if you put in your name and your email here on Shot Analysis, not any of the other ones, I can send you that report individually at the end of it when you're done with your session. All right, and then it's theirs for you to keep. If you have the TrackMan app, all of those reports will be there for you, listed by date. This way, you can walk out of there and say, all right, send it to me, and then you'll get an email of all that stuff. All right, so I'll show you what that looks like. Let's go. I'm sure I'm in here because this overlaps my other site too, so I'll see my jersey names in here too. There's like 4,000 names in here. Yep, that's me. Sometimes you gotta see. All right. For Shot Analysis, if you're just kind of warming up and everything, don't worry about choosing a club. If you want to look at your club numbers, I would select the club. All right. It's going to base the exact shot on the club. If you're really just worrying about warming up, then just pick whatever. If you warm up, who's hit? Who wants to hit for me?
Good. Okay.
What do you want to hit with?
Oh, what do we got here?
Okay. Okay. All right, so let's change this view. Sometimes when I download a new software, it pops out to my old one. All right, so let's talk about a couple things here. First of all, let's talk about view. This is your normal range view, all right? You're just looking at it like you would a normal range, has your grid line, so on and so forth. What you can do is you have all of these options. I keep on losing my mouse on that up screen. These are all your other options, all right? And we're gonna go through them all. Dispersion. It's an overhead view. It's gonna show you where you're landing all your balls, and you can base it on what you want. Carry, how far in the air you're going, exactly where it lands, versus total, which is landing plus rollout and everything else. So you can, those are the two that you'll see. All right, I have you selected for 8-iron. If you happen to hit a 7-iron, I would tell you to change. If you hit a driver, I would tell you to change. And what it's going to do is it's going to color code your shots for you, so you can see your groupings per club. All right, so that's that view. Side top. Just going to show you, again, it's a dispersion over here, but it's going to show you your heights on all of your shots. Again, color coded. All right, are you really high on a couple of shots for whatever reason? Did you really get under it? Did you scoop it? All right, come on, mouse. Video, camera setup. Both of you guys are righties?
Yes.
Yes. Good, because I don't have my lefty camera set up yet, and I'm a lefty. We always get screwed on stuff. So that camera's there for you. All right, again, on those video reports, my permanent mounts are not done yet. On those video reports, the video will be, on those reports that you get, the video's there as well. All right, so you can analyze your video swing. Anytime you take a shot and the video's on, you can take it, you can slow it down, you can have different points in your swings that you want to look at, okay? Club delivery, it needs a shot for it to come through, but it's that overhead view of which way you're coming through. It's the camera that's up there in TrackMan that faces down. It's going to show you coming through your hitting zone.
Okay.
Good. Numbers, you don't need to know about that because we're going to put the numbers down on the bottom anyway. Table, don't worry about. Impact. Impact is, the good part about this is it's a little bit dynamic. After you take a swing, it's going to put a little bit of color coding towards the numbers. You know, I know the numbers they get a little daunting if you're just looking at constant degrees and numbers and so on and so forth. It's the first time that everyone learns it. It's nice to have a visual, all right, instead of taking that calculation stuff out. And then finally, impact location, where you're hitting it off the face of the club. All of these, you can split the screen and view two things at once, if you want to. And most people do. If we did club delivery, if we did impact, things of that nature, right? So you can have two things at once. Let's get into.
In order to split it, you hit those 4 arrows.
That's correct, yeah. So this is expand, and the 4 arrows together splits, and then you have your choice of what you want on the left and what you want on the right. Okay? If you're comfortable with looking at the range on the left, then so be it. If you want to switch it over to the right, then you just switch whatever you want over here. You can have club impact on both, not that you would, but that's how you would change it. All right, so those are viewpoints, okay? While we're looking at this screen, up here is where you would change your club. So you're hitting an 8-iron right now. If you wanted to change out a club for something else, just click on that club. It can do that, all right? Tags in ball are not really going to make a difference unless you're looking for different distances on balls. I know my game's not there. But tags, if you were trying out a different club and you wanted to put a tag on a driver, not just a generic driver, but I'm using, you know, an extra stiff shaft, or you know, it's a 65 gram shaft, whatever the case is, you can tag those shots and see. It winds up helping a lot more on fittings than anything else. Okay. Now let's move down the line. Numbers. These are all the numbers behind TrackMan, or at least TrackMan IO. Okay. They will continue to add more numbers to it. All right. I'm used to TrackMan 4, all right? I'm still getting used to IO, which is basically the same thing with a couple of nuances. TrackMan 4 is the one that's down on the ground and has 2 radars in it, so it has a couple more numbers up here. But all the ones that I normally put up, I'm gonna give you your core. Again, my thought is, don't have all of these numbers up across there. It's gonna confuse you, and it's really not golf. I have a few things that I like to look at, and I'll explain them as we go through. Club speed, club path, face angle, face to path. All right, ball speed if you want. I don't care about smash factor so much. Spin rate, side total, carry total. All right, those are my core numbers that I put up. So let's talk about them, and let's put them in an order that we can talk about. All right, why don't we turn the camera around, because I'm going to kind of show you visual. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
All right, so not that I need to be on screen to explain this. Carry, how far the ball goes in the air, and that's kind of important for your distances, especially if you're, you know, lofting a shot and dropping it down. Okay. Roll total is how far it goes in the air plus the rollout. All right, that's your total distance on your shot. All right, so self-explanatory. We'll get to the other ones that are ball speed. I don't have club speed up there at the same time. Ball speed, club speed, self-explanatory. All right. Here are the numbers that I really care about. These 3: club path. I moved them around. Excuse me. Face angle, club path, and face to path. Keep on rolling 1 second, because I'm going to move these together, because it bothers me if I don't have them together. Okay. So these 3, for me, are the biggest contributor to the shape of the shot. Okay. Why did I slice it? Why did I hook it? Why is my ball fading? Why is it shaped like that? All right. I'm not going to tell you how to fix it, because that's not what they're going to do, but it's going to tell you why that ball is fading at the end, why that ball is hooking at the end, or whatever the case is. All right. So let's go face angle first. All right, face angle. If you can see it, I don't know if you can see it.
Yep.
Face angle is which way that club is facing upon impact. Okay. If you're facing, I'll face this way. So am I closed? Am I open? Or am I flat? All right. Negative, positive. That's going to tell you. That's going to tell you which way it's facing when it happens.
Good.
Okay, and we'll get it. Well, I'll show you on a couple shots. You're going to take a couple shots. All right, that's at impact. Second is club path. All right, I got to do it because I'm lefty. All right, club path is which way am I coming through the hitting zone? Okay, at point of impact. No one ever swings like this. Straight up, straight back, straight forward. As we know, a golf swing is more elliptical, right? It comes around. All right, on impact, if I impact here, right? I'm inside out. That's an inside out swing. I'll show you two in a different version up here. Okay. So on impact, for me, am I negative? Right. The numbers are going to be different for righties and lefties. Or if at impact I come over the top, which a lot of people do, cast, and come outside in at impact, all right? If I do that at point of impact, all right, it's going to affect the start of the shot, all right? Which way am I starting? Which way is that club momentum coming through the hitting zone? That's going to affect the start of the path. Face angle is going to kind of affect the back end of the path, right? So it may start right for me, but if my club face is open, all right, it's going to end left for me, okay? So those two have a big effect on the shot. And depending on the club, short club, wedge or anything like that, probably less of a shape. You start getting into the longer clubs or your drivers or your woods, bigger of a shape. Face to path is really the absolute of these two numbers, okay? The bigger that number, face to path, basically means the bigger the difference between face angle and club path, bigger diversion. The bigger that number, face to path, the bigger the shape of your shot, all right? Now, the fun thing is and it'll happen a couple times, you can have a face angle that's closed and a club path that's closed, but depending on relative, if the face angle is relatively bigger or more open than the club path, all right, even though they're both going in the same direction, you may have, a shot that winds up coming the other way. So those two work with each other, all right, even though they're going in the same direction, that'll show you the relative side. So those are the biggest numbers that I really talk about, okay? Or at least that are most important to me that I explain to everyone else. The other numbers you want to get into, you can dive into. There's impact, offset, there's height. It'll show you where you are on the face of the club, okay? And what else can we show you? Let me put up a couple other numbers just to talk about. You can keep it up there because we're going to go through it. And what you guys, if you want, I can send you like an email with a description of what all of these mean too, okay? And you can think about it, all right? So dynamic loft is really, which way the club winds up hitting the ball. So dynamic loft, closed, open, right? Am I scooping or not? Okay, impact, offset, impact, height really have to do with where that ball is on the center of the club crosshairs, okay? Impact height, am I below it, am I above it? And impact offset, closer to the hosel, closer to the top. Okay, smash factor, again, launch angle. Launch angle is the ball, and everything else. Don't worry about target, pin, hang time, score. Right? I don't want to get into too much. Landing angle may be the last one that you care about. Landing angle is the angle that the ball winds up coming down with. Okay? All right. If it's a smaller angle, all right, it's going to wind up coming down. And it's going to sit. If it's a bigger angle, it's going to go down. All right. So those are the numbers that I care about. All right. And here's what I'm going to do. Whoever wants to hit for me, take a couple swings. Let's talk about, before you even take a swing, so much to talk about, and glad that you guys have the time, all right, because I'm going to want to go through everything. 3 areas that you can hit on this carpet, okay? 1, 2, 3, okay? You can't really see them because it's the same material, but all 3 of these will wind up getting changed out because you're going to get beat up pretty good. Okay. We put the rough in here. This is the first time that we're dealing with rough. Just think it's a little bit more realistic if you want to practice. I wouldn't necessarily suggest that you do it on a course because TrackMan's already taken it into consideration. If you're in the rough or in the sand, it's going to take away some of your power. We'll talk about that another time. So you can hit it over here, you can hit it over here. Okay? As a righty, you're probably going to hit off of that strip. As a lefty, I'm probably going to hit off of that strip just because I don't want to stand over this. Okay? Second thing is we will have our overhead lights that are going to show you where you should be hitting out of. But think about it like this. It's in the top third of this section, and it would be about a rectangle. This is for all the bays. This is the area that you should hit. If you're out of it, all right, takes a little bit to catch up. It'll tell you that you're outside the hitting zone. All right, it's confused because 2 of us are standing over here. That's why. And what it'll do at the last second is it'll adjust where you're aiming. So aim point down there is really where the middle of the screen is. I know it kind of gets confusing here. That's why sometimes I pull this down. Some people care about it, some people don't. All right. Most of the time we're aiming here, but since we have it offset with 3 different strips, it's a little bit offset. If you don't want to see it, then I pull it up. So
the aim point is what I'm going for.
Aim point
That's
is
the
center
middle
line. Yeah,
line.
exactly. Yeah. Pick a spot, and that's where you're good. See how it moved a little bit right there.
You would?
Aim point moves a little bit. Take another shot. We're gonna go through it. A little bit back. There we go. So see how that red sign came up? It said balls out of hitting her. That'll let you know. Okay, yeah, you're all good. You can hit them as fast as you want or as slow as you want. Take your time.
Like a,
Interesting how it's not picking up something like Club Fix did. Hi.
Hey there.
Keep on going. You can take some more
Tutorial
shots.
over here.
it's just, remember 1 and 2.
That's right. Can't take that away from us.
Ever. Ever. So, just give me half a second. I'm going to do one thing. And this happens every once in a while. I want to do, you can pause 1 second because I'm going to calibrate this screen.